I am Mark, uh, Cheryl's husband. I am also a former firefighter, paramedic for over 30 years in the fire service. And with all the years dealing with the engines, the sirens, the air horns, and uh, it does create a disability with all firefighters and police. Police as well, working at the gun range. You're firing your weapon. You have to maintain that certification. It does create a disability, long-term disability with your hearing loss. If it wasn't for Dr. Esmaeli, uh, uh, they also have an office in New Jersey and the Audiology Center of New Jersey and
Audiology Center of NJ.
Audiology Center of NJ. And uh, she has fought and has set the footprint on the proper procedures and able to work through this with this disability to provide all firefighters and police with this amazing to get your hearing back is just amazing, and never thought that I would ever be able to do this. So I encourage everyone that's out there that is affected by this. If you have hearing loss, if you're not sure, at least go in and at least give your time, have a hearing test done, and at least she will advise you on the proper procedure and handle this for you. So I encourage you, please, you owe it to yourself, you owe it to your family, and to get what is entitled to you. We lay our life on the line. We've all been in this, and now it's time that we get a little bit back for what we have. I have hearing aids, they're covered, and so you owe it to yourself.
Miss Cheryl, would you talk about your tinnitus as well? Because many of the police and firefighters, majority of them actually, they're suffering from tinnitus and they don't even know it. Usually, when they come, is the time that they had a significant threshold change in their annual screening, but many of them they had the tinnitus for years and they didn't even complain about it, which tinnitus all alone by itself can be taken care of by us audiologists.
Well, I have an unusual hearing loss where it's a single sided deafness and a deficit on the opposite side. So, along with that, the tinnitus was just incredible. So, background noise is what I thought it was when I found out that it was actually tinnitus. I was able to be provided with a hearing aid brand that gave me an education in my brain so that it would assist with that tinnitus and it was not as predominant. So it assisted with me being able to hear better. Um, had I not happened to come in and get my hearing aid test after having just been tested at a different location, um, the education that I received here was just tremendous. And to find that there was actually something that could be done about it, and that I would be able to hear again was another thing that just is prompting me to to try to tell other firefighter paramedics, and again as my husband said, for the police also, um, you guys you deserve it. You have performed a service for our state, and other states. And it's just, when you know that you've got somebody that's going to help find something that is specifically suited for you and your hearing loss issues, Dr. Esmaeli is the way to go. Audiology Center of Maryland, and again, we know that there's an Audiology Center of NJ, to go there and have her fight for you so that you'll be able to get your needs, handled.
Well, thank you so much. May I ask how many do you? I forgot, but how many sessions for tinnitus management did we work with each other on you?
It's been quite a few. And again, it made a difference right after the first time. After we realized that there was something that could be done, um, it just right off the bat you could see the difference. And it was the difference between getting a quality hearing aid and having I had probably 5 different sets, and I had had even Baja surgery for for my type of hearing loss, and not until I found you did I find something that truly worked better. So it's the quality. It's the quality of the merchandise of the of the equipment that I get to wear.
And the services basically, because the hearing aids are what we say is just hearing aids, just a device, but they need to be programmed, they need to be fit rightly, and they need to be serviced
Regularly.
periodically.
Mm-hmm.
And the tinnitus management all by itself is another can of worm to open. So basically, tinnitus management, you don't even have to have a hearing loss sometimes to suffer with tinnitus.
Well, it was funny to find that my husband didn't even realize at home that he had had a hearing loss, and I was noticing things. So he happened to come with me on my appointment, and I begged you, please give him a hearing test. And he had just had one. It couldn't have been 2 months before that, and came in, and we realized that his hearing loss was dramatic enough that he needed to start the process. And we started the process legally because we know that his hearing loss was from, 20 plus years of fire service. And, he was able to get his hearing aids covered also.
Yeah, with mine, and I will tell all of you all that's in the profession, the way mine was affected, and I would go to my annual physicals that were provided by the fire rescue. They would test me and said, "Oh, you're fine. You don't have any problems." I went to another private firm. They tested my hearing, and when they did, they said, "Yeah, you don't have any hearing loss." Trouble was, what I had noticed, and maybe some of you may notice this too, there are certain pitches of sound that I was not hearing. Mine, particularly, I would have conversations mostly with females, and there was a certain tone in there. They would talk to me, and then the sound stopped. I'd see their lips move, but I wasn't hearing the sound. That was the only thing I ever noticed. I didn't know and didn't realize that the noise was actually diminished. When I came in and with my wife, as she said, she begged Dr. Esmaeli to please run a hearing test on me. After that test, she said, "Yes, you're missing these tones in this area." I was totally shocked. Once I had the hearing aids, it was, oh my gosh, it was like my whole world opened up. It was like I constantly had notice of all the sounds I was missing, and it was almost overwhelming. So please, you owe it to yourself, like I said, and your families. You don't want to miss those little tones, those little things that are happening around you. Go in and have a test just for yourself. You will be amazed.